Salmon's one of the most popular fish eaten all around the world, and there are many different recipes all across different cultures. But have you ever gotten yourself a piece of salmon and you just don't have any inspiration as how to cook it? Well, I'm going to show you an awesome little recipe that you're really going to want to try out the next time you have some friends over for a beer or some homemade tapatio. It's also a great technique that's been used throughout history to preserve our food. Now, I'm going to say that the best part of the salmon to use for jerky is the tail, as you're probably going to want to keep the thicker fillet parts to cook for dinner or turn into a gravlax. But first we have to skin the salmon, so take your knife and make a little nick at the tail end and slowly run your knife along the skin until you can hold enough of it, and then just pull into the blade of the knife and it should come away with as little salmon as possible left on the skin. Then I just cut it in half, and as I point out here, we're not going to slice it the traditional way, but instead we're going to slice it against the grain as it tends to hold together better, as you can see here. So I'm just going to slice up all the rest about 7 to 8 millimeters thick, but you can slice it as thin as you like. Then grab yourself a bowl and add 50 grams of maple syrup, 50 grams of soy sauce, tablespoon of mirin, dash of Worcester sauce, teaspoon of sriracha or equivalent, teaspoon of mustard, heaped teaspoon of miso paste, and give it a good mix. Then crush a piece of ginger and throw that in too, along with some garlic powder, white and black sesame seeds, cracked black pepper, and lime juice. Then just bring your salmon back and place it in. Make sure it's fully coated all the salmon pieces. And we're going to leave it in the fridge to marinate for 24 hours. The next day, get yourself a baking tray and a cooling rack and start laying out the salmon over the cooling rack. You'll notice that the salmon now feels a bit tougher as it has slightly cured in the marinade. But once you've spaced it out nicely, brush over some more marinade before we place it in the oven on the lowest setting possible. Mine was 50 degrees and I left the door slightly open. We don't want to be cooking this, we want it to dry out, not to cook. So you want the lowest temperature possible. And we're going to leave it in there for about 1.5 hours. Then turn the salmon over, put it back in for another 1.5 to 2 hours until they look like this. And then you're ready. Glass of tapatio in hand. I have a video on tapatio, you should really check that out too. But that's all there is to it. The perfect little snack to treat the guests next time come round for a chin wobble. Or dare I say it, the perfect accompaniment the next time England are in a final. It will come home one day. Anyway, hit the like button, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'll see you in the next one, and remember, just keep cooking.